Hi, thanks a lot for listening to this tutorial video on how to generate a new variable in STL. So the generation of new variable can be necessary when you are going to sometime transform a numerical variable into categorical. For example, you can separate age, which is a quantitative variable, into a qualitative variable by classifying age in different intervals. It's very important to know how to generate a variable, so you can also recodify a categorical variable which have, for example, four modality into a variable that also only have, for example, two modalities. So let us look at one of the variable in our database, which is age. Age is a variable, a quantitative variable that you can transform. So for a particular purpose, it can be necessary to transform, for example, a square of age. For example, in econometric modeling, uh, it can be important to calculate the square of age, for example, which in a non-linear model, for example. So how to generate, for example, the square of age. So you just go on transform, the tab transform, click on transform, and then you click on compute variable. So when you click on compute variable, this tab will be open to you. So you can just put in the space reserved for target variable. So which variable are you going to calculate? You maybe want to calculate h square h square. So you can a small thing you need to know is that in the generation, the target variable space, you should not put space between uh, element of the name. So you should not begin the name with a figure. So SPSS will reject it. So you can put underscore h square. For example, underscore can be the separator of age and square. You cannot put only a blank space between age and square. So here you select the variable age, which is here. Select the variable age in the space reserved to the variable, and use this arrow to put it in numerical expression as space reserved to numerical expression. You can use arithmetic function. Can use can search for arithmetic function like there are many function. There is square, so you use the function square to transform your variable age. So you just use the function square sqrt. In parentheses, you put the name of the variable. So you can just select it from here and put it inside the parentheses. So then you click on OK. So you can see that your variable r square has been generated, h square has been generated. Another thing you can do is to categorize age into many categories, into many age intervals. So I am going to transform my age into three categories. Those who have less less than 20-year-old, and the second category are those who are between 20 to 40-year-old, and the third category is those in our sample that are more than 40-year-old. So how to do it? You just go on transform compute variable. So your variable is my variable I'm going to create is age categories. Age categories. So here I select what have been done first. So I select my variable age, put it here. So I use this logic symbol to select the logic. So when I have selected, it's not here. So I'm going to put my categories here. So the first category, one, which is numerical, is going to be the category. So my variable category age category is going to take a value 1 if, so I use the optional case selection condition here. So you click on if. So my variable age is going to be equal to 1 if I will give the condition. So I select include if case satisfy condition. So I'm going to select my age variable now and put it using this arrow in this space and say that use the logic symbol to say that my age is going to be less or equal to 20-year-old. So that's my first categories that I'm going to have. So then I click on continue, and you can see that and click on OK. So the first category of my variable age categories has been created. So I then click on transform compute variable age category. The second value is 2, and the age is going to be more than 20-year-old. So I use the superior symbol 20-year-old, and the second condition is that I use the logic symbol and age is going to be less than 40 year old, less or equal to 40-year-old. This is my second category, which is the category in which age is between 20 to 40-year-old. So when I have written this logic condition, I then click on continue and then click on OK, and OK, the second category has been created. So I can just click on the third, on transform compute variable to create the third category, which is my variable age category is going to be 3 if age is more than 40, more than 40-year-old. So then click on continue, OK, and then confirm the change of existing variable. So my variable my variable age category, if we come back in our SPSS variable view data, so we can notice that my variable age category has been successfully created. So I can then go on analysis, descriptive statistic, frequency, and select my variable age category, put it into variable, and then click on OK, so that you can see that my variable age category has been created with two modality. Uh, here is less or equal to 20-year-old. 2 if age is between 20 and 40-year-old and so on. So you can see that uh, variable has been created, and I can come back on my SPSS and recodify my variable age category here. So I can read a label, so I can label as the same name that I have given to the variable. So just copy the name of my variable and paste it in column required for label. So I can do the same for the previous variable I have created for age square. So how to codify my variable age? So I said my variable have three categories. So the first category to create it is just to go on value section and click on this on the cells concerning the variable. So the first value is 1 and the label is less or equal to 20, less or equal to 20. Then I click on add. So the second category is label between 20 to 40. And then I click on add. So the last category, the third, is a label more than 40-year-olds. Then I click on add. So I click on OK. You can see that all my categories have been created. So if I once more go and analyze descriptive statistic frequency and analyze my variable age categories, you can see that my variable has been labeled as I did it for now. So you have less or equal to 20-year-old frequency the same. You have between 20 to you have more than 40, and you have the different statistics uh, the statistic related to this variable. So you can also, for example, recodify a categorical variable which have three categories into a categorical variable which only have, for example, two categories according to the purpose of your story, and using logic in SPSS. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope very well help you understand how to generate and recodify variable in SPSS.